Hey guys, how's it going? Anthony Miranda here to talk more to you about the generalized motor program slash schema theory. We are going to just let you look at all that really quick. All right, cool. And then we're going to compare that to the dynamic system theory. So basically, these theories, they're basically talking about how our brain works when we want to execute movement, when we want to do movement, and these theories just basically talk about the parameters or like the constraints within these, and they're totally two different ones that that can give so many people a different perspective on it, So with this generalized motor program and schema theory, this one mostly is basically, to summarize it, Richard A. Schmidt here, he came up with this theory, the schema theory as well. And he talks about how the brain is like a computer, how our brains already have pre-programmed setting, like controls and movements already programmed in our brain. Our brain just needs to learn how to process that info and produce the movement or the motor output. And so, I guess a set of motor commands that is specified before movement initiation. So, they're already there before the movement occurs. We just need to know how to process that. Then our bodies will initiate that motor output. That's basically what this theory is saying. And these motor programs are for a particular class of movements. Movements within a class share the same sequencing order or like sub-movements. So there's so many different movements. Basically, the programming is not going to always stay the same within the brain. The programming it's going to retrieve from the memory, then adapt to a particular situation. So that program is going to adapt every time we go through a situation, every time we experience something. It's going to adapt, it's going to change. So the next time we do it, it's probably going to be better. So that's where this practice makes permanent or progress comes into play. So every time that schema goes through a practice or experience, those generalized programs will reprogram, like we were mentioning before. They will get better with experience. All right, so just like I was saying, where this comes in, basically what this is saying is I knew how to kick a ball. I just didn't know how to do it until it happened. And then I learned the first time how to kick it, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then it's going to get better. I'm going to kick it more. I'm going to kick it harder, It's going to reshape. Basically, it's already programmed in my mind, but we're going to use that reprogramming. It's going to always occur, basically. And so we have those invariant features and parameters that, like I was saying, to kick the ball, those would be my invariant features, parameters for me to learn how to reshape my motor output and to make it better and better every time. So now we have the dynamic system theory. This one's a little bit different because this one's basically saying we have an environment, a learner, task, constraints. But these are not necessarily a program. It's basically us adapting, if that makes any sense. So Nikolai Bernstein here, he realized that the mechanical system, like our bodies, leaves us with a significant problem when it comes to controlling movement called the degrees of freedom. So we have more of a degree of freedom here. We don't necessarily have programs already in our brain. He's basically saying we have no idea, first, we're infants, right? We need to learn how to crawl and spin. And then once we see that we've done that, we keep doing more to it. We keep getting better. So basically, they're the same in that way where you're going to adapt. You're going to learn and reshape things, right? But this one is saying there's no way that we are pre-programmed, like the generalized motor program is saying. So This one is a movement of a matter and changes from time to time. It's about movement on growth, changes, and progression. So again, they sound the same, but this one is not 100% or even saying that we have pre-programmed programs and controls in our mind. And so we will determine the coordination. So these constraints are going to help us determine the coordination and control that will be displayed, which is our movement. And our movements are how we develop and learn new movements, right? So like on this one, this one's going to, so again with soccer, let's just say I'm getting into soccer, I'm brand new, you know, I'm seeing the soccer ball, I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. But I'm going to, I have this fixed order within specific time frames. So I'm seeing every time I even see a soccer ball, right? And so now I'm seeing my environment this time. I'm witnessing that. Like I have a crowd of family, you know, like, and I'm the learner here. So, and I'm so confused on what's going on. But then my task is I need to kick the soccer ball. I need to go. And so every time I'm going to learn how to get better at understanding my environment and understanding my learning, me as a learner, how I'm going to process and execute my movement along with the task at hand. I need to score a goal, right? But then I'm going to have more and more tasks arise. You know, there's those constraints. There's going to be so many. So this interdisciplinary framework is, they would like to say. So this one just really is all about like, oh, we already have these programs in our head. You just need to reshape it. Like it'll come to you kind of thing. You're going to probably just make that permanent. But this one's like, you have not understood what is going on. There's no program in your brain, but you're going to learn how to discipline yourself with these with your environmental learner task constraints. So this one doesn't even mention constraints at all, and I think this is more important to learn in my perspective, because you got to take these into account to learn how you're going to learn that. Because with this one, it doesn't really explain that you're going to it doesn't even explain these type of constraints and how that's going to really affect that program in your head. That's why this one doesn't want to implement a programming in the brain, because we're gonna have different ways and different times we're gonna learn things. So say in my soccer game, like my past soccer game like a week ago is not going to entirely translate into the new game I'm going into in 2 days. You know, so that's where this one has an issue, in my eyes, explaining like how we're going to deal with these if I did have a pre-programming, you know? So I'm gonna always have all these programs put into a folder here, but here it's like I'm gonna have new experiences in different areas in my brain. Same area, I guess, so kind of like a folder, except I'm gonna have different experiences, but I'm going to pick and choose what I want to learn how to shape my environment, learner, task constraints. So I would honestly go with the dynamic system theory on this one, just for that reason. I wouldn't necessarily believe that we have pre-programmed brains. Like that just sounds a little too much and more to get into, but thank you.